The people that expect every single player to be a robot. Like, if you want, I mean this, if you want a player to be a robot, go be a fan of Paige Beckers. Like, Caitlyn's not a robot by any means. So if you guys haven't seen this clip right here, so what happens in this clip is Caitlyn, up to this point, has 25 points. We can be honest, Caitlyn has 25 points up to this point in the game. Natasha Howard, up to this point in the game, has 0 points. So
fans are officially losing it, and all because Caitlyn Clark dared to be great. The nerve, right? She's not just dominating on the court, she's rattling egos, silencing critics, and probably causing a few broken remotes along the way now. Her detractors are coming together like it's some kind of anti-Caitlyn alliance. Why? Because she keeps delivering. Because she refuses to shrink herself. Because she's just that good. Is it jealousy? Insecurity? Or just plain denial? Whatever it is, the outrage is getting louder, and frankly, a little ridiculous. So let's take a closer look at the growing meltdown from people who simply can't handle Caitlyn being exactly who she is, confident, competitive, and unstoppable.
For all these ladies talking about, man, Caitlyn Clark this and Caitlyn Clark that, it's hurting the game, and then it's this, that, and the third. Go focus on your craft and get better. I'm telling you right now, because if it does, then y'all look like a cohesive unit, and the WNBA will look watchable.
And now we are to the point. I think we're past the point, and everybody is letting it be known, especially if you are of color. You cannot be a Caitlyn Clark fan at this point as a black person. This is what is being said to us. How you can't root for Caitlyn Clark? I'm not making it up. There's people who are just blatantly telling us we can't enjoy a white basketball player.
This WNBA season was supposed to be business as usual, tough games, a few heated moments, and some great plays that, as always, got quietly overlooked by most major media outlets. Then Caitlyn Clark showed up, and suddenly, everything changed. She hit the court like a force of nature, with a killer jump shot and a spotlight that followed her everywhere. Now, rival fan bases are scrambling, some realizing, for the first time, that their favorite player isn't even leading the team in scoring anymore. Ouch.
You gotta put it in perspective, right? These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by that. And there's going to be girls that think she's got to earn it and she doesn't deserve this early. She's handled it great. I think she's performed last year. She's performing again this year. I think she's the rightful face of the...
It started with a whisper, she's good. A few games later, full-blown panic mode in rival fan bases. Now we're seeing online tantrums, wild conspiracy theories, and Reddit threads that read like emotional support groups. The new complaint? Caitlyn Clark is too good. That's right, her biggest offense is outperforming expectations and refusing to be average. Imagine being so talented that people claim you're messing up the vibe of the league just by playing at an elite level. It's not just noise, it's a meltdown in real time.
So, Angel Reese fans are also trying to do a little but whataboutisms when it comes to one Caitlyn Clark being at the Kansas City Chiefs game. Now, keep in mind, you know what you've seen out of Caitlyn Clark this offseason? You've seen, you've seen Athlete of the Year. You've seen her in the gym. Indiana Fever videos have come out, right, of her training in the gym. Seriously, I mean, there's one out here that's literally like 13 minutes long. Right here. You see that? That's 13 minutes.
Let's not pretend the backlash has been subtle. 1 minute, rival fans were bragging that their teams would humble Caitlyn Clark in no time. The next, she's sinking threes from well beyond the arc, and suddenly the narrative shifts to she's overhyped or she's not that special. Really? Because nothing says not special like leading your team in nearly every major stat and keeping them competitive in games they probably shouldn't even be in. It's not arrogance. It's excellence, and some people just aren't ready for it.
The delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid. And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. She's just not built for the physicality of this league. Yeah, and she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality.
Here's the real issue. They thought Caitlin Clark would be a college sensation who faded quietly into the background. Maybe she'd hit a few deep threes, miss a bunch, and settle into the typical rookie growing pains. Instead, she's out here confidently taking on veterans who've been in the league longer than TikTok has existed, and making it look easy. She's racking up assists like it's second nature, staying calm under pressure, and torching teams that were supposed to put her in her place. And rival fans? They're scrambling to explain it away, pretending they didn't just watch their team get dismantled by a rookie. The excuses are shifting faster than a defensive rotation. First it was, she hasn't faced real defense. Then, wait until she plays a real team. Then, she only scores because of screens. And now? She's ruining the balance of the league. As if the league was perfectly balanced before she arrived, as though one player with elite court vision and a no-look pass is somehow breaking the WNBA multiverse. And let's not forget the sudden wave of self-proclaimed experts who popped up overnight. People who couldn't name 3 teams last season are now writing deep-dive think pieces and crunching numbers to argue why she's supposedly bad for the league. Spoiler, she's not. She is the league right now. She's the reason arenas are packed. She's the reason ratings are up. She's the reason fans are downloading the WNBA app, and maybe for the first time, not watching it freeze like it's 2003.
This girl, the Golden Goose, comes along, and she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year, outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. Lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the number 1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats. She's not a scrub. She's not only can play, she's a star caliber player who draws this.
And here's the best part. Caitlin Clark is doing all of this while being the most fouled player on the court, game after game. She's taking more hits than anyone, often walking off with more bruises than points, and that's saying something, but does that earn her respect? Not exactly. Instead, rival fans are out here analyzing her facial expressions like it's a courtroom drama. Did you see her face after that layup? So arrogant, really? She finishes through 3 defenders and somehow she's the problem. Meanwhile, other rookies can airball a free throw and get praised for their potential. But when Caitlin scores 30, it becomes a national debate. She's not humble enough. Translation? She's confident. She's skilled. And she's not going to shrink herself just to make others feel comfortable. Here's a reality check. Confidence isn't arrogance, especially when it's backed up by performance. Being excellent at your job should not make you a target for constant scrutiny or resentment. What makes this backlash even more bizarre is how far some fans will go to discredit her success. Breaks the rookie assist record. Doesn't count. She has the ball too much. Leads the league in minutes? That just means her coach doesn't bench her enough. It's exhausting and revealing. Because when someone's this good, the people most bothered by it usually aren't upset about the stats. They're upset she's not on their team.
The delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid. And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. She's just not built for the physicality of this league. Yeah, and she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality.
Honestly, Caitlin Clark could probably cure male pattern baldness and some people would still find a reason to complain. Sure, but did she do it while playing defense? The truth is simple. Caitlin makes certain fan bases uncomfortable. Not because she's arrogant. Not because she's flashy. But because she's defying every expectation they had for her to fail. They needed her to stumble. They needed her to miss. Because if she succeeds, and she is, it forces them to admit she's the real deal. And that means recognizing that their favorite players are being outshined by a rookie with elite talent, relentless focus, and a game that already looks MVP caliber. And it's not just fans, some broadcasters and analysts are clearly struggling with the same discomfort. You can hear it in their voices. They want to give her credit, but they're hesitant, worried it might spark backlash online. So instead, they downplay the moment. She's playing decent tonight. Decent? She just dropped a triple-double and forced your graphics team to scramble. That's not decent, that's dominant. Meanwhile, while everyone else is busy picking apart her personality or overanalyzing her success, Caitlyn just keeps showing up. Cool under pressure. Focused. Unbothered. Quietly picking apart defenses like a surgeon on a mission, while others melt down around her.
I'm not in the WNBA, right? But I do know girls and I do know basketball. So I have some opinions on why I think Caitlin Clark might be getting so much hate in the WNBA from WNBA players. And it's because of something I noticed that she does since like NCAA when she was playing for college. She complains a lot to the refs. She plays with the refs. She talks to them. She looks at them. She complains to them. She whines to them all the time, like for any game and every game. And for me as a basketball player, like just play. Like, yeah, I get you might be feeling like you're targeted or whatever, but like, bro, just play. Like, stop looking for help. Because no one's going to respect that. Whether you deserve it or not, no one's going to respect you looking for.
Caitlin Clark's basketball IQ is off the charts. Her footwork is sharper than most highlight reels, and her court vision? She's seeing plays develop before they even happen. While critics are still figuring out how to get in the game, she's already several moves ahead, like she's playing chess while everyone else is learning checkers, and every time she performs, social media goes into full meltdown mode. Rival fans rush to their phones the moment she has a good game, flooding timelines with cries of overrated and not even top 5. The desperation is obvious. One more dominant night, and someone's going to start a petition just to move her to a different team they don't have to face. Then comes the most baffling complaint: she gets too much media attention. Really? As if it's her fault people actually want to watch her play. Sorry if your favorite team hasn't been this exciting since flip phones were in style, but that's not on her. Caitlyn didn't demand the spotlight. She earned it. She didn't beg for coverage. She made it impossible to ignore. She's doing exactly what the WNBA has needed, drawing viewers, creating rivalries, and turning every game she plays into a must-watch moment. And that's what has her critics rattled. They were comfortable when the league's hierarchy was predictable. When the name stayed the same and the spotlight never shifted. Now, there's a new star at the center of it all, and she's not here to blend in, she's here to lead. So, what do the critics do? They nitpick. They complain. They hold on to outdated narratives like lifeboats. All because Caitlin Clark walked into the league with confidence, skill, and the rare ability to turn criticism into fuel. She hasn't just joined the league. She's redefined it, and the most remarkable part, she's only getting started.
There's only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? Fawn over her? Fangirl over her? Bend the fucking knee? Kiss the like, what do you want from them? We cannot, every time the girl plays a game, she got 40 games, guys. She got 35 more games. We are not every single game gonna revisit and retread this same tired ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful. They have been. Sure. They've said it. Time and time and time again. You want the girl every single time she walks out onto the court? What are we supposed to do? You want them all to give Caitlyn their firstborn? Like, what are you looking for? It is embarrassing, because if this was the men and you just watched a bunch of other dudes fawn over someone all the time, you'd call them.
By the time the season ends, Caitlin Clark won't just be remembered as a rookie phenom, she'll be the standard. The measuring stick. The player others are compared to. She's already the reason rival fans are checking box scores with one eye open, bracing for the inevitable, another dominant performance. And here's the truth, even the loudest critics can't look away. No matter how many hot takes they post or how often they try to downplay her success, they're all watching. Because Caitlin Clark is just that good, and it's driving them quietly, completely mad. Then, just when rival fans thought they'd seen it all, Caitlin delivered a moment they'll never forget, laughing mid-game with Brianna Stewart while casually torching everyone on the floor. She wasn't just hitting threes, she was celebrating them before they even dropped. Arms raised. Smile locked in. Defenders still turning to see the ball swish through the net. It wasn't just confidence. It was total control. It felt less like a basketball game and more like a masterclass in how to silence your critics without saying a word. Call it performance art, how to obliterate doubt with a jumper. You'd think, just for a second, that fans on the other side would acknowledge it. Tip their hat. Recognize greatness. But no. Instead, they rewrote the story in real time. She's showboating, because apparently, enjoying your job, when you happen to be exceptional at it, is somehow the problem. But make no mistake, Caitlin Clark isn't just changing games. She's changing the conversation. And the league, the media, and every rival fan watching? They know it.
The one and only Caitlin Clark proved why she's one of the most dominant players in the WNBA right now. Clark, who was returning from injury, scored an impressive 32 points in her return. In the first quarter, Clark had a 38-second sequence of perfection. 3 3-pointers. Clark had the capacity crowd rocking. And just in the first half alone, Clark scored 25 points. What a time to be watching the W.
Meanwhile, some of the same fans criticizing Caitlin Clark are cheering for their favorite players doing TikTok dances after hitting a free throw, in a 12-point loss. At the same time, Breanna Stewart, an icon of the game, is out there laughing with Caitlin mid-game like they're longtime friends at an AAU reunion. And why wouldn't she be? Real recognizes real, but the moment fans saw that, panic set in. You could almost hear the gears grinding. If Stewart's smiling with Caitlin, does that mean she belongs? Just like that, the she doesn't fit in narrative started to crumble fast. Turns out, it wasn't built to last in the first place, and let's be honest, it's not even just about the scoring anymore. It's how she's doing it. Caitlin's hitting shots from distances that should require GPS coordinates. Every game feels like she's curating a highlight reel, and somehow, every clip is a keeper. She's not just confident. She's calculated. Predictive. How else do you explain someone starting to jog back on defense before the ball even hits the net? That's not arrogance. That's knowing your shot because you've taken it 1,000 times. That's preparation. That's precision. At this point, Caitlin could probably take a blindfolded shot over her shoulder and walk away midair with a smirk, leaving rival fans speechless, clutching pearls, and quietly debating whether that was poor sportsmanship too.
Do you feel like the other players are jealous of Caitlin Clark?
I feel like she getting treated the way Ricky is supposed to get treated. She getting knocked down. She getting pushed. Hey, man, look, women don't play. And those women in that league, just because she coming in, just because you might be the so-called tide that's raising the ships, you got to prove it out here on this court.
And I think she know that.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't follow a lot of her quotes or things that she may say after a game, but she has to know that that's what she gonna get. Like when she came into college, I'm sure nothing was just given to her in college. Nah. She had to prove it with those teammates.